Hi everyone, so in this video we are going to solve this question, find the majority element inside the array. Okay, so what is a majority element? So element is said to be a majority element if it appears more than n by 2 times. Okay, what is n? N is basically the size of the array. Okay, n is basically the size of the array. So if there is an element, that appears more than n by 2 times, okay, so more than n by 2 times, then that element will be called as majority element. Okay, let us take some example to understand the question. Okay, so in this case the value of n is basically 3. Okay, size of the array is basically 3, and we can see the majority element. Okay, in this case the majority element is basically 3. You can see 3 is appearing 2 times. 3 is appearing 2 times, and what is n by 2? So n by 2 is basically 3 by 2, which is basically 1. Okay, and 2 is basically greater than 1. So greater than n by 2. Okay, so in this case our majority element is 3. Okay, so we have to return 3. We have to find the majority element and we have to return the majority element. Let us consider this example. So what is the value of n? So the value of n is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So the value of n is basically 7. What is n by 2? So n by 2 is basically 3. Now see, in this case the majority element is basically 2. So the majority element is basically 2 and 2 is appearing basically 4 times. 2 is appearing in the array 4 times and 4 is basically greater than 3. 4 is greater than 3. Now let us consider this example. Let us try to find out the value of n first. So the value of n is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, so the value of n is basically 10. What is n by 2? So n by 2 is basically 5. Now count the occurrence of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So basically in this case my majority element is 4 because it is appearing 6 times and 6 is basically greater than 5. Greater than n by 2. Majority element is that element that will appear more than n by 2 times. Now let us consider this example. So in this example the value of n is basically 5. Now what is n by 2? So n by 2 is basically 2. In this case majority element is not there. So in this case majority element is not present. Okay, majority element is not present. But we can assume that majority element is always present. Now see the question. So this is basically a LeetCode question. Okay, majority element, and the question says we can always assume that basically the majority element will always exist in the array. We can assume that majority element will always exist. So that means we will not receive input like this. We will not receive input like this. So we can safely assume that majority element will always be there. We can assume that majority element will always be there and input like this will not be there. Input like this will not be there. Now let us try to solve this question. So let us discuss various approaches of solving this question. Now first let us discuss the very simple approach, the brute force approach. So what is the naive approach? So naive approach, what it will say? So you have an array and you have elements. So what is the naive approach? Naive approach will say find the occurrence of this element. So what I will do, I will pick this element. I will pick this element and I will find its occurrence by iterating over the complete array. Now I will check this element and now I will find the occurrence of this element over the complete array. Similarly, pick the third element and find its occurrence. So brute force is very simple. What we have to do, I will pick one element and I will try to find its occurrence over the complete array. If I am able to find an element, whose occurrence is basically greater than n by 2, I will return that element. So what will be the time complexity? So time complexity is very simple. We are picking each and every element and I will try to find the occurrence of that element. So time complexity is basically n square and the space complexity is basically big O of 1. So this is the brute force approach. Now one more thing, since what is the majority element? So majority element is that element whose occurrence is basically greater than n by 2. So that means we can have only one element as the majority element. Okay, so there will be only one majority element. We cannot have more than one majority element because the definition of majority element is basically that element whose occurrence is greater than n by 2. So there will be always one element that will be the majority element. Now let us discuss the second approach. So in second approach, what we can do, we can take the help of hash map. So what we will do, so we will store element and we will store its count, key value pair. Okay, so this will be my key value pair, element and count. So what will happen, so this will be my array. What I will do, so I will iterate over the array and I will fill this hash map. So after iterating over the complete array, my hash map will be ready. Now what we will do, so let us take an example. Okay, so let us take small example. Let's say this is my example 323. Okay, now let us make our hash map. Let us iterate. So after iterating, 3 is basically appearing 2 times and 2 is basically appearing 1 times. Okay, so this will be my hash map. Now what I will do, once the hash map is ready, we will iterate over the hash map. And when we are iterating over the hash map, we can check. So if there is an element whose occurrence is basically greater than n by 2, if there is an element, we will return the key. Okay, this is key. So I will return the key. Okay, very simple. So what will be the time and the space complexity? So the time complexity, we are just iterating over the array and then we will iterate over the hash map. So time complexity is big O of n and the space complexity is also big O of n because we are using hash map. Okay, so space complexity will be big O of n. Now you can also say the space complexity is big O of n by 2 because we can say the majority element, we can always assume that majority element will always be there as given in the question. So basically the size of the hash map will basically be n by 2 and n by 2 is basically nothing, it is just big O of n. Okay, so I will say the space complexity and the time complexity both are linear. Okay, now let us discuss the third approach. So what is the third approach? So in third approach, this is basically called the sorting approach. So what we will do in sorting, so let us say this is the array. What we will do, we will basically sort the array. Okay, so after sorting the array, what will happen? So after sorting the array, what will be my majority element? Okay, so what is majority element? Majority element is that element which is occurring greater than n by 2 times. So after sorting the array, I will find out the mid element. This is my mid element. So what is mid? Mid is basically n by 2 and this will be my majority element. Okay, so what I have to do? I have to do 2 steps. So first step is basically sort the array. First step is very simple. We just have to sort the array, and since the majority element is that element which is appearing more than n by 2 times, so the size of the array is basically n, we will find out the mid element and that mid element is basically the majority element. Okay, very simple. So what will be the time complexity? Since we are using sorting, so time complexity is n log n, and then we can find out the mid in constant time and then we can return the mid. And the space complexity is basically big O of 1. So this is the third approach, sorting. Now let us discuss the best approach. Okay, let us discuss the best approach. So this is approach 4 and this is basically called voting approach, Moore's voting approach. Okay, Moore's voting approach. So this is the best approach. Now what this approach will do, so what is the intuition? Let us first discuss the intuition. Okay, now there exists a majority element. Okay, so we know majority element exists. So what is the majority element? So majority element is that element which will appear more than n by 2 times. Okay, and these are rest of elements. So what I will do, so I will mark the majority element. So I am discussing the intuition. So I will mark the majority element as +1. Okay, if there is a majority element, that means I will mark it by +1 and rest of the elements will be marked as -1. Since majority element are greater than n by 2, so if you will add these two, +1 and -1, finally your output will be +1. Not necessarily +1, basically it can be positive. Okay, it can be anything, +2, +3, +4, anything, but the output will be positive. Why positive? Because the majority elements, they are appearing greater than n by 2 times and the rest of the elements are basically less than n by 2 times. So I am marking the majority element as +1 and rest of the elements are -1. So if you will add the majority element with the rest of the elements, the output will be a positive element. Okay, so this is the intuition. Now let us discuss the approach. So the approach is very simple, but what Moore's voting algorithm says, so consider you have element t. you have element E, and I am saying this element is basically a majority element. Element E is majority element. So what we will do, if we will cancel out each occurrence of element E with other elements that are different from E, then E will exist till the end if it is a majority element. Okay, I am repeating myself. The approach is very simple. It will use the intuition. So element E is basically a majority element. Okay, I am assuming element E is majority element. Now if I will cancel out all other elements, so these are all other elements. So if you will do E, which is the majority element, minus all other elements, E minus all other elements, so what will happen? So basically E will exist till the end. E will exist till the end. What I am doing, so if I will cancel out each occurrence of an element E from the all other elements that are different from E, then E will exist till the end if it is a majority element. Okay, very simple approach. Let us take an example to understand it. We will take few examples and then we will write the code. So let us take this example, 3 2 3. 3 2 3. So initially I don't know what is the majority element, so let us assume something. Let's say my candidate of majority element is the first element, 3, and obviously its count is basically 1. Okay, so what we have to do, if I will encounter a different element, I will subtract. I am assuming my candidate for the majority element is 3 and its count is 1. Now iterate from the array. Now iterate over the array. So this is element 2, compare with 3. What we have to do, we have to subtract. So what will happen? I will make the count 0. Okay, 3 and 2, they are different. So I will do count minus minus. I will make the count 0. So after doing the count 0, that means this is not my majority element because the count is 0. So I will update. So my new candidate element is basically 2 and my count is 1. Now I am saying that 2 is the candidate for the majority element and it is appearing one time. Now let us continue iterating. So I have element 3. So element 3 is basically different than 2. What I will do, I will subtract. Okay, you can see here. So what we can do, we can see here, E is the majority element. I am subtracting the majority element. I am subtracting the count from all other element. Okay, and if it is a majority element, it will appear, it will exist till the end. Okay. Now 2 and 3. 2 and 3, they are different. So I will subtract. So the count will become 0. If the count becomes 0, it's time to update your candidate for the majority element. So candidate is 3 and the count is basically 1. Then what will happen? Let us continue iterating over the array. Now the array will finish and your candidate is basically 3, which is your answer. In this case, 3 is the answer. So that's how it is working. Let us take this example also. Okay, so this is 2 2 1 1 1 2 2. So let's take this example. 2 2, then I have 1 1 and 1, then I have 2 2. What we have to do, we have to assume first. So let us assume this is the candidate for the majority element. Okay, so the candidate is basically 2 and its count is basically 1. Okay, so 2 is the candidate for the majority element because initially I have to assume. Okay, now let us continue iterating over the array. So 2 and 2, they both are same. So what I will do, I will increase the count. So count plus plus, so count will become 2. Now 1 and 2, they are different. 1 is the current element and 2 I am assuming is the majority element. Since the candidate is different, the elements are different, I will do count minus minus. So count will become 1. So what I am doing, if same, then what you will do, count plus plus. If different, in the else part, they are different. If different, I will do count minus minus. And if the count becomes 0, that means update your majority element, update your candidate for the majority element. Okay, now compare 1 with 2. So they are different, and what we will do, count minus minus. So count will become 0. As soon as the count will become 0, it's time to update your majority element. So now the candidate is 1. Okay, now the candidate is 1 and its count is 1. Okay, 1 is appearing one time. Now let us continue iterating over the array. So I have 1, I have 1. So I will do count plus plus. So count is 2. I have 2. So what I will do, this is 1. Okay, so I have 2 and this is the candidate element, this is the majority element, which is 1. What we will do, I will do count minus minus, so count becomes 1. Now again I have 2, so 2 and 1, they are different. So what I will do, count minus minus. Since the count becomes 0, if the count becomes 0, it's time to update your majority element. So the majority element is 2 and its count is 1. Okay, so majority element is 2 and its count is 1. Finally your array will end and this is your answer. Okay, this is our majority element. This is the answer. So algorithm is very simple. What we are doing, we are subtracting. So element E is the majority element. So subtract the count of majority element from the rest of the elements. Since E is the majority element, so E will remain till the end of the array. E will exist till the end of the array. So in this case, how many times 2 is appearing? So 2 is appearing 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 is appearing 4 times. How many times different elements are appearing? So these 3 are different elements than the majority element. So the rest of the elements are appearing 3 times. So if you will subtract the count, okay, if you will subtract the count, so the count is 1. So basically if you will subtract the count, since 2 is the majority element, so 2 will exist till the end. That's why 2 is existing till the end. Let's take one more example. Then after this example, we will write the code. Okay, so 4, 7, 4, 4, 7, 4, 4 and 9, 4, 3. Logic is very simple. I will compare the current element of the array with the candidate, with the majority element candidate. If they are same, I will do count plus plus. Else part, they are different. If they are different, I will do count minus minus. If the count becomes 0, that means it's time to update the candidate element. Update the candidate element. Now initially I don't know which is the majority element, so my candidate is basically 4 and the count is basically 1. Okay, 4 is appearing 1 time. Now let us iterate over the array. Okay, let's start iterating. 7 and 4, they are different. If they are different, I will do count minus minus, so count becomes 0. If the count is 0, it's time to update. Okay, if the count is 0, update. So 7 is the candidate element and its count is 1. 7 is appearing 1 times. Again 4. So 4 and 7, they are different. So if they are different, what we will do? Count minus minus. So count becomes 0. If the count is 0, we will update the majority element. So 4 and the count of 4 is 1. 4 is appearing 1 times. Again I have 4, so make the count 2. 4 and 4, they were same, so that's why the count plus plus. 7 and 4, they are different, so count minus minus, so count becomes 1. Again 4, so 4 and 4, they are same, so count plus plus. Again 4, so 4 and 4, they are same, so count plus plus. 9 and 4, they are different, so count minus minus. 4 and 4, okay, 4 and 4, they are same, so count plus plus. 3 and 4, they are different, so count minus minus. Now finally your array will end. So since 4 was the majority element, so 4 will appear till the end of the array. So what is the answer? The answer is basically the candidate element, which is 4. You can see yourself how many times 4 is appearing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 4 is appearing 6 times and the rest of the elements, since the array is basically of size 10, so the rest of the elements are appearing 4 times. If you will subtract 6 minus 4, which is 2. Okay, this 2 and this 2. Okay, this is same. Since 4 was the majority element, if you will subtract the majority element from the rest of the element, so the majority element will exist till the end. This is the main logic. Okay, so this is the majority element and its count after subtracting from the all other elements is 2. Okay, you can see 2. This is the approach, this is the intuition. So intuition is very simple. So if you find out a different element, you have to subtract. Now let us write the code. Okay, so I have to return the majority element. The name of the function is majority element. And let's say the name of the vector is A. So very simple approach. What is the candidate? So candidate is the first element, A of 0. and it is appearing one time. Okay, so this candidate is the candidate for the majority element. Now let us find out the size. So the size is basically a dot size, and now let us iterate over the array. Okay, so I have to start iterating from 1. So I less than end and I plus plus. Again, very simple condition. If the elements are same, if the current element is same as the candidate element, then you have to do count plus plus. In the else part, what you have to do, the elements are different, you have to do count minus minus, and after doing count minus minus, if the count becomes 0, if the count becomes 0, that means it's time to update your candidate element. So my candidate element is the current element, and the current element is appearing 1 times. Okay, finally, since we can assume that the majority element always exists, so your answer will be present in the variable candidate. Okay, let's run our code. Okay, now let's submit our code. Okay, so basically our code is working fine. So what is the time and the space complexity? So what is the time and the space complexity? So the time complexity is big O of n. What we are doing, we are just iterating over the array, and the space complexity is big O of 1. Okay, so this is the time and the space complexity. Now one more thing. Here what we are doing, here we are assuming that the majority element always exists. Now what if the majority element do not always exist? Okay, so what if we cannot assume? So if we cannot assume, what we have to do? So if we cannot assume, what we have to do? We have to find the count of the candidate element. Okay, now what we can do, let us take a variable count2. Okay, let us take a variable count2. So what we are doing, let us assume. So we cannot assume that the majority element is always there. Okay, we cannot assume majority element is always there, so we will check first. Okay, so we will check first. So let us iterate over the array. We cannot assume, so we check. So we check whether the candidate element is majority element or not. Okay, so what we have to do, we just have to find its count. So if the current element is equals to the candidate element, then what we will do, we will do count2 plus plus. Okay, count2 plus plus. Finally, we know the count of the candidate element. So basically, if the count 2, okay, count 2 is basically greater than n by 2. So that means the majority element is there. So if the majority element is there, I can return the candidate element. In the else part, majority element do not exist. Okay, so if the majority element do not exist, return -1, because we have to return an integer. So I'm returning -1. Okay, now let's submit our code. Okay, so our code is working fine. Now why this code is working fine? So this code is working fine because in the question it is given that the majority element is always there. Okay, in the question it is given that majority element is always present. So that's why you will always be able to find a candidate element. You will always be able to find a candidate element whose count is basically greater than n by 2. So in every condition, in every input, this return statement will be executed. Okay, we will never reach the else part. We will never reach the else part. Okay, because in the question it is given majority element always exists. Now let us summarize. So we discussed 4 approaches to solve this question. So first one was the brute force approach. So in the brute force approach, time was n square and the space was big O of 1. The second was hash map approach. So time was big O of n and the space was also big O of n. The third was the sorting approach. So the time was n log n and the space was big O of 1. Now the best approach is basically this Moore's voting algorithm. And basically the time is big O of n and the space is big O of 1. Okay, the intuition is very simple. If you will subtract the majority element, which is element E, you will subtract the majority element from the rest of the elements. Since this is a majority element, so it will appear till the end of the array. It will exist till end of the array. We are doing exactly the same. Okay, we are doing exactly same here. I am assuming this is my majority element and I am iterating over the array. If this is a majority element, it will exist till the end of the array. Okay, it will exist till the end of the array. So this is a very famous question. Okay, so if you have any doubt in this question, you can ask me. Okay, thank you.